that happen if you get an epidural that people don't talk about. So if anybody has anything weird that happened when they got an epidural that might be fun to talk about, or I can talk about some of the weird side effects that people get from an epidural. First off, are most people planning on getting an epidural that are here? That might be fun to find out. And here we go. Any questions tonight? Let's see, just fixing up all my chats. Tonight for dinner, I made chicken thighs in the crock pot, and it was weird. It was a Thai, like, chicken dish. Or do I have to be a one? Maybe I missed the first of your questions, Mary. First of your question, I should say. Guys, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them. Let's see, what did I post about today? I don't remember. Oh, interventions that might happen if your baby if like the heart rate goes down in labor and delivery. So when you come into labor and delivery, we'll put the monitors on your belly and see how baby's doing. And then most places, they just continuously monitor that baby to see how it's doing. Now there is intermittent auscultation, or there's intermittent, like an NST every hour. But if baby's heart rate goes down while they're monitoring it, then a lot of times you'll have nurses run in the room, and that sometimes can scare people. Evelyn says, hello, welcome to the live. Tell us how far along everybody is, and what if you're having a boy or girl, if you know. And so when the nurses run in the room, the only reason they're there is just in case baby's heart rate doesn't come up. So if we monitored any baby right now, the baby's heart rate's going to go down, right? Baby grabs their cord, baby rolls over their cord. It's very, very normal. Hello, Pramila. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. And so nurses are going to run in the room. We have a few initial interventions that we're going to do. Increase your IV if you have an IV. We're going to, if you guys have questions, put them in the comments, or I would love to know when you're due and what gender you're having baby. So we're going to increase your IV fluids if you have an IV. That's one of the best reasons to have an IV, is because if something were to happen with baby, we can quickly intervene. Increase your IV, reposition you. So if baby's like rolled under their cord, we can reposition you and hopefully the cord falls out of the way. We may ask to check your cervix because, if you progress very quickly, then sometimes the baby's heart rate goes down a little bit. And those are the main things that we do. We used to apply oxygen. We don't do that so much anymore. They found that that isn't super helpful. So tell us in the comments if you have questions, or when you're due, and if you're having a boy or girl. We'd love to know. Here on the Pregnancy Nurse, we talk about all things pregnancy in case we haven't met yet. Hello, I'm Hillary. I'm the pregnancy nurse. I've been a nurse since 1997. I have 20 years of labor and delivery experience, and I am also the creator of the online prenatal class for couples, which is the easy way to get prepared for birth. So if anybody is looking to get prepared for their upcoming birth, you guys can always check it out through the link in my profile. And yeah, people love it. You can read the reviews over in there. Lots of interaction over on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. All right, nobody's telling me how far along they are or whatnot about their baby. Let's see. A lot from India. Okay, so KT Max says, I was unable to have a vaginal birth with my first due to a breach. Would really like to do a VBAC, but worried about success with that. Not sure what questions or concerns I have. Only 8 weeks now. So you're a great candidate for a VBAC because last baby was breech. Now this baby is breech, then you'll have a C-section again, and you don't need to know that, but essentially you're the best candidate for a VBAC because whatever condition happened last time hopefully isn't going to happen this time. However, some people still elect to have a vaginal or try for a vaginal, or they elect to have a C-section, and some of them elect to have the breech or or they'd want to try for vaginal delivery. So totally up to you. I would encourage you to kind of wait and see what baby does. Oh my gosh, guys. We've got some good ones. We've got some good ones on the YouTube. I don't know how I block them, but we're going to give that a try. In the meantime, so hopefully that gives you some answers. You want to talk with your provider early on to see if they're up for having, if they're up to do a VBAC. Some of them are not. So, yeah. Live. Just trying to get into YouTube to block some people for fun. I don't even know how to do this. I don't get out much, guys. Anyway, hello. I'm so glad you guys are here. Tell us in the comments how far along you are when you are due. We'll be find out. We're just going to mute that. Yeah, so I'm the pregnancy nurse, and we talk all things pregnancy on this channel. So if you are not pregnant, it might not be the best channel for you. Nikki just told us on TikTok that she's due at Halloween. Nikki, big question. Are you going to get a Halloween costume for your baby? It's a little bit early, 6 months early, but I would probably think about that because I love Halloween with little kids. 7 miscarriages in the last 7 years. I would definitely talk with your provider and see what they would recommend doing because that you would definitely want a knee workup. Nikki, do you know what gender you're having, boy or girl? A little pumpkin. Yep. Let's see. Any other questions? Let's go over here. In case we haven't met yet, hello, I'm Hillary. I'm the pregnancy nurse. I've been a nurse since 1997. I have 20 years of labor and delivery experience, and I'm your bump to bassinet bestie, where I'm going to tell you all the things you need to know about your pregnancy. Nikki said she's team green, already a boy and a girl mom. Oh, we're perfect. Yeah. So Nikki, I had 2 boys and I had access to ultrasound 24/7. So I definitely found out on my last one. But if I had had a boy and a girl, I would really try and not find out because that is amazing. So I love surprise deliveries. Would you have that many miscarriages because you're nursing? Most likely not. Yeah. Definitely talk with your provider, though. I think you could get some good information from them. There was something I was thinking I was going to talk about. Oh, I was just watching videos on TikTok this afternoon and everyone was like, why doesn't anybody talk about postpartum? And I was like, hi, over here talking about postpartum, and just people don't listen. I think because it's not important to them when they're pregnant, they're like, I don't care about postpartum. I'm not postpartum yet. Or, their whole life, they haven't cared about it because it's not going to be then. Or they just kind of, they're like, oh, I won't end up having those problems, so I'm not gonna worry about it. But are you guys preparing for postpartum? Tell us in the comments. I think that's something that we don't do the best at. I think that's something we could definitely do better at, is getting ready for postpartum. Nikki said, I've continued to nurse my kids through pregnancy, currently tandem feeding and pregnant. Yes. So I've always heard, Nikki, and you'll have to tell us your experience, that most likely your milk will dry up. But I have no idea. I've definitely have had a patient who ended up delivering at home because in early labor, it sounded like early labor. Maybe she was already in active labor. She decided to breastfeed her child before she left the house and boom, and ended up having her baby at home. So hopefully none of that. We will have none of that. But Nikki, it sounded like you did that with your other kids too. So yeah, usually it's totally fine. Slow talk. Unlikely. Bit of a fast talker over here. I'm an overproducer and never actually dry up milk all the way through. Nikki, are you going to be done after number 3? You think you're just going to keep having milk forever? Ooh, that's a lot. Oh my gosh, they're being so mean on the YouTubes. Can I end it just on YouTube? Nope. They all say I talk too fast on YouTube. What do you guys think? Okay. Let's see how I stop people from making comments. Yeah, so I'm Hillary. I'm the pregnancy nurse. I would love to answer your pregnancy questions. We have all sorts of different questions. Yeah, time to scroll. Leah, are you pregnant? Welcome to the live. Nikki says she might take a break. She's either been pregnant or nursing since 2020. That is a long time. I bet you are ready for, oh my goodness. I bet you were ready for a break. Yeah. I'm from the US. I'm in the Phoenix area. Man, I thought evening we would have more people on. Maybe not. I've been using the new YouTube studio on my desktop, and maybe that is not the best option. Maybe that is limiting my views. Anyway, thank you guys for coming on. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, we'll probably end for the night. Leah said she would like to be pregnant. She's tried for 3 months and it has not happened. Yeah, so average time for getting pregnant is 9 months. So usually they say, try for at least 6 months, I think, and then reach out to your provider if you're not seeing anything, especially if you're a little bit older and kind of on a time crunch. So hopefully something happens. Wow. Anyway, thank you guys for coming. Oh, any opinions on TOLAC or VBAC? I'm a huge fan of them. So a TOLAC is a trial of labor after cesarean, and a VBAC is a vaginal birth after a C-section. So you TOLAC up until your baby's delivered, and then you VBAC, and I'm a huge fan of them. I absolutely love it when people VBAC or TOLAC or try for a TOLAC. It feels so successful when we get it done. So I love them, but I think you need to talk with your provider about you and your specific circumstances. I see a lot of people saying, oh, you need to do it this way or whatever. And it really depends on every person. And so you really have to talk with your provider. Probably an OB. Angelina Rose family said, help stop nausea and indigestion. Oh, I'm so sorry. Have you tried anything for it? Are you taking anything for it? You might be able to take like a Protonix or something along those lines. People sometimes find those helpful. Yeah. All right. I have a very supportive hospital midwife and doula. Nikki, who did your C-section though? So that's probably the provider you want to talk with. Hopefully she is hooked up with a provider. I can't remember if you said if your last one was a C-section. But usually you want to have that discussion with the person who might end up doing your surgery just to get them an idea. Yeah. I know people that try first time and get pregnant, very lucky. Leah, some of those people do not want to be pregnant though. So there's that. Hospital or pregnancies can be a two-edged sword. Some people really want them and some people really don't. So best of luck to you. All right. Last call for questions. Nikki, I love that you have a great midwife and doula though. I bet, because a lot of it is just trying to change positions and things like that. I bet you're going to do great with it. Yeah. Have you dealt with pregnancy and POTS? Not so much. Yeah, that's something to talk with a provider about. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining me here tonight. We will see you guys later.